Hello, everybody. Good morning and good afternoon and good evening to you, and happy Friday. Welcome to this week's Sketchbook Skool Student Bulletin. It's so good to see all of you here. We've got Lydia and Celeste checking in. Polly is here from the UP. Heather, let's see. Yes, so many people. Celine is here for tea time, which is great. We've also got Enya, Maria, Renat, and Carol, Robert, and Connie. Definitely. Excellent. So it's so good to see all of you. Erin is also here. Maria is saying that she's got a big rainbow outside of her house, which is awesome. So cool. But it's lovely to see all of you here, and I'm going to jump right into it and share some art. So I want to start off. A lot of you, as certain places are kind of opening back up, and some aren't, but some are doing more urban sketching. And whether it's from a safe distance in your car or going on sketch outings, we've seen some awesome urban sketches. And I wanted to share this one from an artist named Nyinji. And she did this on one of her walks. She said she walks by these old tired trucks just kind of parked in some overgrowth. And she thought they'd make a great painting. And I just think about all the runs and walks and bike rides that I go on. And sometimes you pass things that you just kind of usually ignore. And I love that she took the time to paint this, and it actually made for a really wonderful watercolor, which is fantastic. We've also got John and Jesus and Mary checking in as well, and Kat. Good to see you all. Another student, so I shared this image this week in our group that we have called Draw This, which is a weekly challenge group in the schoolyard. And every Monday we post a new photograph that students draw together. And that's kind of just a way to get warmed up for the week, just to see how everybody interprets it. And it's a lot of fun. And this week we posted a picture to celebrate National Ice Cream Day and summer. We posted a picture of an ice cream truck, an old school Mr. Softy ice cream truck. And I wanted to share this because Stephanie did not want to draw vehicles, which I totally understand because whenever I draw a car, it looks like something out of the Lego movie. It doesn't look like a real car. And Stephanie decided to just pick parts of the image that she liked, and she elaborated on it. So she drew the menu that was printed on the side of the truck, and different pieces of the truck, and the logo with the creepy ice cream cone head. But she didn't have to draw the whole thing. So I just love that she sort of interpreted that image in a different way and still came up with a really cool drawing. So thanks for sharing that, Stephanie. And Heather is saying that she didn't know about the challenge. Yes, so this is in the schoolyard. It's a group called Draw This. So it's a special group that you join. You can find it under groups in the schoolyard. And every Monday we post a new image. And we also ask you all to submit images. So if you have a photograph that you really like, you can send it to me and we'll try to feature it. It's a lot of fun. Oops, there's the ice cream truck again. Another student, Ollie, did this really summery drawing using some wet and dry media of what looks like a port or like an area off of a pier. And I just thought this really felt like summer to me, and I really gravitated towards it. So Ollie, I just loved this image. Thank you for sharing it. And I know I often get caught up using watercolor all the time, but you used sort of some wax crayons and or color pencils in this. And I think it looked really great. Another student in the realm of urban sketching that I want to celebrate, Alice Washington did her first sketch on location in Old Sacramento. She sketched a train car. And I just wanted to say congratulations because making that first on-location sketch for anybody can be really nerve-wracking and scary. And Alice crushed it, and she did it for the first time. And I hope that she does it again and that she kind of got her confidence up. And it made for a really lovely little train car drawing. So Alice, nice work. You did an awesome job, and I hope that there are many more sketches on location in your future. In our classes, students are doing lots of homework assignments and staying busy. And I want to share one student, Serena, did a week's worth of selfies as part of our seeing course. So this was homework for Kosha's week in this course. And I just loved how Serena kind of captured a different side of herself every day during the week. It looks like she did 6 here. I know there are 7 days in a week, but it looks like she took a day off, which is totally good to recharge. But her 6 selfies, I think, captured a lot of personality, and each one kind of has a different tone and a different attitude. And so I thought about it, and I loved the idea of doing a selfie a day for a whole week, and seeing how you look on a Monday versus on a Friday. It might be an interesting transformation to witness. So Serena, nice job on your homework, and thank you for sharing that. Another student in our boot camp course, Petra, she did this lovely drawing of her softball mitt. And this isn't just any old softball mitt. I shared this image because she wrote this really nice little bit about her drawing and how softball is something in her life that introduced her to her partner, her group of friends, and a ton of other memories. And I loved that she did a drawing of just one object. And you can really tell she gave it attention and care. And she said that this drawing held so much in terms of just emotional weight. And I think that that's really cool that she was able to use drawing to kind of commemorate an object that means a lot to her. And it made me think about, objects that I have at home, even my running shoes, that really represent a lot. And I think that was a really nice way to honor that. So Petra, I love your softball mitt, and I love the story that it tells. Another student used mixed media to actually do a nice memorial piece to honor Congressperson and civil rights activist John Lewis. And I think that mixed media was the perfect vehicle for this piece. And I have a dog grumbling under my desk, sorry about that. And I think that this really just speaks volumes and was a really nice way to commemorate and memorialize someone who's really important to us here in the United States. So Mindy, thank you for sharing that and honoring John Lewis. It's a beautiful piece of art. Some other students have been sharing art that they make based on skills they learn in our workshops. So Lisa Stewart took a workshop with us a few months ago now with Onmar Wynn using watercolor and ink drawing over watercolor. And she did this lovely little sketch of flowers, and I think that it turned out so nicely. Whenever I use a dip pen, it does not look this good. So Lisa, you did an awesome job. You made me want to really experiment with watercolor and ink. And even just one color, it's so beautiful. You didn't even have to use your whole palette. Another student who took our ballpoint pen workshop took the skills that she learned and did this adorable little duckling. So she used her ballpoint skills. Mary, she did this drawing after the workshop and captured a different subject, which I think turned out so adorably. So Mary, thank you for sharing that. We love seeing how these workshop skills kind of pop up in other areas of your art. So highly recommend the weekend workshops. Students are learning so much in them, and it's been a lot of fun. So now, if you are just joining, or if you've been here the whole time, I want you to grab a sketchbook because it's time to draw. So we got to look at some art, and now we're going to make some art. This time for our 4-minute focus. So I want you to grab a sketchbook and a pen or whatever you're working with. And for today's prompt, I think that we've done something like this before, but what I want you to do is I want you to draw your moment of zen, and whatever that means to you. And I'm going to show a picture. I actually went on a run this morning. I went to a park that I usually just run from my front door, just around my neighborhood. But I drove to a park, and I ran at a place that I don't often run. And I got there for sunrise, and it was so beautiful, but so basic. It wasn't anything fancy. There weren't amazing mountains. It was in kind of a rural area in Columbus, where I live in Ohio. But this moment was just perfect this morning. And all it was a blue sky, and the sun was coming up, and a big field of flowers. And I mean, it just sounds like a Hallmark card. But the moment that it gave me was so perfect, and I really started my day kind of refreshed and recharged. And I want you to think about what is a place or a thing that does that for you. So whatever it is that brings you your moment of zen, I want you to draw that, whatever you can, if you can put your finger on it. You can draw this image if you just need something to put on the page, because this place was really special and just kind of gave me a good boost. But I want you to think about your moment of zen and what does that mean to you. And I'm going to put up our timer. And oops, it always starts when I'm not ready. I want you to think about your moment of zen, and I want you to draw it. So this could be like a place, like your happy place, your favorite place to vacation. It could also be something that you do every day. So it might be your morning cup of coffee at your kitchen table. or on your back deck, It could be anything. And it could be something so simple. So whatever it is, I hope that you're drawing right now, and I want to see it. And I just want you to think about what is that one place or thing that really just kind of gives you a sense of calm and really kind of grounds you. Because I had that moment this morning. No one was here at this park. I was by myself, and it was quiet, and the birds were actually super loud. They were totally awake as the sun came up. But it was just so perfect, and I want you to think about what is that one thing or one place that can kind of give you that feeling. And I know for me, especially after a long kind of stressful week, it's good to have these little moments to sort of bring you back to where you need to be. So I want you to think about that and think about what that Zen moment looks like for you. So this could be, like I said, a place. And if you're just joining us, we are drawing right now. We've got a few minutes on the timer. And I want you to draw your Zen moment, so whatever that is. And for me, it was a run that I took this morning at this park at sunrise. And it ended up just being really perfect. The sun came up, and there were just fields of flowers, and it was really kind of misty and foggy because it was morning. And it was just perfect and exactly what I needed. And so that's what I'm going to draw today. And you're welcome to use this picture if you don't have anything off the top of your head. But this was mine, and I'm really curious to see what you come up with. What is it that brings you that sense of calm or that moment of Zen? So I will be curious to see what you come up with. I would hope that you can share it in the schoolyard using the student bulletin topic, or you can use daily drawing habit. There's so many hashtags to keep up with if you're on social media. But I would love to see what you come up with, and what is that thing that kind of keeps you grounded and just gives you your moment of Zen. And I'll be curious to see what that looks like for you. But for me, this was an awesome way to start out a Friday morning bright and early, just kind of collecting myself before starting the day. And this ended up being the perfect place for that. But I also love the idea that you can find this at home, right? You can find these kinds of moments in your own house, maybe in your art studio corner, or maybe at your kitchen table, like I said. I've been spending a ton of time on our back patio, just outside, even if it's hot, just listening to the birds, working outside. So I think that it's really nice to just remember that you can find this stuff at home. You don't have to go very far, especially at a time right now where, it's difficult to travel and it's not the greatest to go lots of places. We should try to be staying at home. So it's great that you can have these moments in the comfort of your own home or your own backyard. So I will be curious to see what you come up with for your moment of Zen. But this was mine, and this was at a park called Scioto Grove in Columbus, Ohio. And that's where I was this morning at about 6 o'clock. And that was my moment of Zen. So I will be very curious to see what you all came up with for your 4-minute focus, thinking about your moment of Zen. And our timer is just about to run out. But thank you all, as always, for tuning in every Friday. Thanks for joining me to celebrate the art that you guys are making in the schoolyard, and to celebrate the things that you're exploring and discovering in your sketchbooks. And thanks for drawing with me. It's always good to just take a few minutes and draw together on a Friday. I think it's a great way to kick off the weekend, or maybe end the day if you're Maria and you're in Russia. But I hope that you all have an awesome weekend, that you can do something creative and do something for yourself. Yeah, take that time and do something for yourself. And I will see you back here next week. We will also have a sketchbook happy hour next weekend on Friday as well. I'll remind you all on the next bulletin, but I'll put those details in the schoolyard. The event is posted, and that will be a Zoom call if you want to actually draw together on camera. So that'll be next week on Friday, and I look forward to seeing you all at next week's bulletin. So have a great weekend, and thank you for joining.